Okay, so I've just attended that James Pelton's Avengers DeFi kind of thing where about eight YouTubers got together and talked about DeFi and something else. I can't remember. But in my opinion, the whole point of the discussion should have been about um, DeFi, rug pulls, YouTubers, that kind of thing. And they suddenly started talking about, after a while, they started talking about other things. Okay, fair enough. It was in the description. It just said other things they could talk about. So fair enough. So maybe I was wrong pulling somebody up on that. Because obviously I wanted to talk about DeFi and YouTubers and their responsibility for providing their subscribers with good information and not promoting Ponzi schemes and things like that. So James Pelton was kind of the chairman, but I got very annoyed because at one point I must have got banned because I was asking this question loads of times. Every now and again, I mean, I didn't keep repeating it because basically the question I asked was, do you think, in a nutshell, do you think YouTubers should go to prison for promoting Ponzi schemes? So now in the end, somebody else asked a similar question. And I was thinking, and that kind of got answered. He obviously asked it a little bit more watered down than what I did. Okay, I came straight out with it. Okay, and what I did was I thought, what the hell's going on here? It's clear that my question wasn't getting answered. I mean, at one point, James, one he said like one question was, which I didn't even couldn't even see on the questions, was what was your first job? It was just like so ridiculous to ask that. What was your first job? What is the point in asking that question? I mean, you've only got so much time in these things, and you've got 100 people listening. Who gives a monkeys about what your first job is? I mean, come on. We want to talk about rugs, DeFi, YouTubers. That's what we wanted to talk about. Not whether you delivered papers to wherever, or if you stack shelves in Walmart or wherever. Nobody's interested in that. It's just ridiculous question. When someone's asking a hard hitting question, then and he goes and asks that question, he's just like. So what I did anyway, I logged out and logged in as a different under my other account, and I then went back through my question. I scrolled up through the chat, and I couldn't see my original question. So quite clearly, I got banned, and nobody could see the question. So I was kind of really pissed off that I got banned for asking a legitimate question, which later on we effectively asked. Anyway, I sort of said my point about Ponzi schemes being illegal. I mean, this is it's a serious. They should really be thinking about this question, and I mean, it's their future. They could go to prison, and they're treating it as like a joke. So it did annoy me, but well, I'm just losing my track here. So about Ponzi schemes, God, I've lost my track completely here. I've had a couple of drinks, so I need a couple of drinks after that. So yeah. One guy was saying, actually, I said that the law is pretty clear in most. What I wanted to say was most sort of kind of Western jurist. I basically said in the UK and the US, pretty much the law is pretty clear on this that promoting a Ponzi scheme is illegal. So I would suggest that promoting a Ponzi scheme would mean putting money into a project and videoing it is pretty much clear cut, I would say, as promotion. So all of these YouTubers are guilty of promoting Ponzi schemes. So clearly, I mean, somebody else pretty much asked a similar question but watered it down. And it was quite funny because it was complete silence. Who wants to take that question? It was like total silence for like 10 seconds. Nobody did. They were scared shitless, basically. Eventually, somebody did, and they thought about it and whatnot. I can't even remember the response, but they kind of got sidetracked in the end. And obviously, I was like a dog with a bone, wanted to keep going with it because I felt it was the most important question. I still think it's the most important question. I think all of those YouTubers should go to prison. I really do. They know the Ponzi schemes. I mean, the thing is, James Pelton actually said on one of the things. Now, he did say that one of the things he was doing is, I'm sure this is a Ponzi scheme, and I wouldn't go into it. So I think he was fair enough to sort of say, don't go into it. But the point is, I've no idea if he put his money into that scheme and said, I know this is a Ponzi scheme, but I'm putting my money into it. Because if you do that, that is technically breaking the law. Now, what I will say is, I think the law is a bit of an ass. Okay. Do I think somebody should go to prison for putting money into a Ponzi scheme? No, that's clearly a bit stupid. But the problem is that these guys are putting money in, and lots of people are following him into these schemes and losing the house, literally. They're losing their life savings. It's all well and good saying only put in what you can afford to lose. We know all that's bullshit, and people put in more than they can afford to lose. And they actually do. Some people kept loans out and think, this is a safe thing. I'm going to get a loan. I'm going to put my money in that. I get a loan of 10% a year and getting 2% every day. I'll pay it off in a week. That's what people think. That's their attitude. Some people. So, and what I also got annoyed at, James Pelton called me condescending and things like that, and saying that I had some sort of superior attitude or whatever, thinking that everyone else is stupid in the thing. I was just trying to have an intelligent conversation and trying to ask questions and stuff, and I was just getting frustrated with some of the answers, and I also felt that the people, especially James Pelton, just treated the whole thing as a joke. He was enjoying himself. He was enjoying it. Fair enough, enjoy yourself. That's fair enough. But the point is, I've seen a Twitter email off another guy saying he got a Twitter off a tweet off somebody saying, that he'd lost his life savings and that kind of thing. These people, these YouTubers, really need to have a think about what they're actually doing and the damage that they're causing to people, everyday people who don't deserve this. These people, this person who tweeted was just trying to make, their life, not their life, their family. They didn't care about themselves. They were just a father. They had a wife and kids, no doubt, and they just wanted to make the family's life better. They make the family's life better. But what's wrong with that? Nothing's wrong with that, is it? But now it's kind of, I wouldn't say destroyed because you can always come back from nothing. Sometimes it can make you stronger and all of that, but you wouldn't choose for that to happen. And I think especially this James Pelton guy, he's he's not taking this serious. It's okay for him. He's in his so-called ivory tower. Um, he's worth like six. Didn't he do a video here where he's worth $6 million or something? I mean, none of this applies. If he loses £10,000, he doesn't care. He can do an AMA with somebody else and make that money back in no time. He's got 50,000 subs. His life is made when he's got that number, unless he gets done for promoting Ponzi schemes and goes to prison, which obviously he doesn't want that to happen. But who knows? It could happen. I'd like it to happen, to be perfectly honest. The amount of lives that James Pelton will have destroyed, I bet it's a lot. I wonder how many millions of dollars that he's lost the community from following into some of the stuff that he's mentioned, because people are gullible and people follow these YouTube for some reason. They follow these YouTubers, and I'd say to anybody, don't follow these YouTubers. Don't follow me. Don't follow me. Don't follow my advice. If I say I think Solana's going to go up or something like that, I think it's a good buy. Don't do that. Do your own research. Don't trust me. I don't know what's going to happen next. I'm not a financial advisor. Okay. But this Ponzi scheme, I think it's clear cut. I mean, some guy said, "No, I think you're wrong there about the law. There, that's not it's not the law." Well, I've seen it on UK website. I've seen it on American law websites. That is the law. If you promote, it's quite clear in the wording. If you promote a Ponzi scheme or a pyramid scheme, then you are breaking the law. I mean, how much clearer do you want it? All right. And you could go to prison. You could get a fine. Now, I mean, people have gone to prison, but I think you'd have to be pretty serious kind of thing. I think it's the kind of thing that people aren't going to go to prison for, and it's not going to be such a massive thing. Okay. Unless millions and millions of pounds were, well, I mean, the thing is, millions of pounds are being put down the tube, okay, given to these scammers' pockets. Um, so I did get really frustrated because I'm not thinking about me. I haven't lost any money in these things. All right. Why should I bother? But I do bother because I don't think these guys are taking it serious. They've got a role as a YouTuber to take these things serious, and they're not. They don't give a monkeys. Um, as long as they make their money, they don't care, and that's why they should be taken to task. Um, Rant over. Okay, that was the Avengers thing. Okay, James Pelton's Avengers. It was. I don't know. I don't know.